To start this page, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some gel multimedium and a scrap piece of paper. This is actually a scrap piece of paper from Fab Scraps, and I'm going to start collaging my page. And so just take some gel multimedium and you can either apply it straight onto the paper that you're going to use, or right onto your page and then apply the paper over top. And so all I'm doing is I'm just ripping up pieces of the papers that I'm using and collaging them, or decoupaging, if you will, on the page. And so that's all I'm doing here. And this is this gel is my favorite one, and it's a soft gel multimedium gloss by Golden. One of my other favorites is it's the heavier gel. This one is a soft gel, and it's actually really easy to apply, so that's why I'm using it here for this type of page. Once you're done applying all of your paper onto your page, what you want to do is you want to take some of the gel multimedium and you want to just run it all across the page, all on top of it, just to ensure that all your paper is adhered to the page. Next, you want to grab some gesso, and here I'm using some Liquitex gesso and a little bit of water to make it a little bit of a whitewash, and just run it all across your page. So that's what I'm doing here, taking some paper towel, blotting it off, and then heat setting it. Then I'm taking two colors, Burnt Umber Light and Yellow Ochre by Golden, and these are fluid acrylics. And notice how little I'm putting into my palette, just very little, because they are very concentrated. And I'm just grabbing another dry brush, and I am just starting to paint my page just to grungy it up a little bit. And that's all I'm doing here. Next, you'll notice that I'm going to take a water bottle, and I'm just going to spray the page a little bit to blend the colors a little bit better. So that's all I'm doing here with the brush, is just blending. And then go ahead and heat set that. I'm then grabbing my Gelatos by Faber-Castell, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start creating an edge. So all I'm doing is I'm just adding layers to my page by using the Gelatos. And so I'm applying all these four colors on the page, and then I'm going to grab my water and I'm going to spray, and you'll notice that the colors will start to run. And so I'm just taking my brush and now I'm blending all the colors. That's what I'm doing here. The Gelatos work so beautifully with water. They just react so beautiful. It almost creates like a watercolor effect. I absolutely love it. I'm reapplying a little bit more blue onto the page just to get the desired look that I want. And as you can see, the page is starting together. And the colors that I used match the paper that I had used previously very well. And here's two screens that I'm using. One from Chrissy Tomlinson, this one, and this is from the She Art, and the other one is a pink paisley. So all I'm doing here is I'm just using my Faber-Castells and applying them very randomly on my screen, and then I'm just taking my finger and I'm blending the Gelatos, and as you can see, they blend very easily without water. And I'm just applying a little bit more on the pieces that I left behind, and again rubbing. And the next thing, I'm taking a Dilution screen, the alphabet set, and I'm placing it right on top of the other screen. I'm then going to grab Vavavoom Violet by Lindy Stamp Gang, which is a starburst spray, and I'm spraying it right on top. I lift it and then I just dry it. I'm repeating the same process that I did earlier with the Gelatos again, and I'm using two colors, as you can see, just to create a whole new color. So they blend together really beautifully, and I'm not worried if I'm getting the entire screen or not. And then I'm placing again the alphabet set, spraying it a little bit and lifting it off, and then I'm just heat setting it. Now I'm taking the pink paisley screen and I'm using a Moon Shadow Mist by Lindy Stamp Gang, and this is Gossamer Gold. And then I'm just going to go ahead and give it a quick spray here and there, and this just adds a little bit more dimension to your page. That's all this is doing. And then heat set that. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some more of the paper that I'd been using, and I'm just going to rip strips grab your gel multimedia, and I'm actually going to start creating a heart by rolling the paper and squishing it around. And as you can see with the gel multimedia, I just traced a big heart in the middle of my page. And I'm going to start placing my rolled paper very roughly onto the page. And you'll see the gel multimedia holds really, really well. So it almost dries. It dries very fast. So it's really easy to use. It dries fast and it doesn't dry fast. It's very easy to use. And you'll notice like my page does not come off. And a rolled piece of paper usually would start to unravel really quickly. So it's fabulous for this type of work. So all I'm doing here is just creating a heart with my scrap pieces of paper. The next thing that you want to do is with the rest of your scrap pieces of paper is keep rolling and start applying them randomly in the middle of your heart that you created. No more rhyme or reason, just it doesn't matter what the pattern is, just start applying them down onto your page. This technique also works really, really well with thinner pieces of paper, just because they're much easier to roll. This paper is a little bit thicker, and it works fine. It's just not as easy to roll and to stick down. So you'll find that if you use like tissue paper or newspaper or any paper that's a little bit thin, it works. It's a little bit easier, especially if you've never done this technique before. So for practice, that's what I would recommend. And people keep asking me what brushes do I use. I just go to my local art supply store and I buy whatever brush is on sale, especially for mixed media. I don't paint, like I don't draw, so for me brushes is not a big thing. So I just use what's on sale at that time. And they're all acrylic type brushes. And I do have just one specialty watercolor brush that I use for my watercolors, but aside from that, that's what I use. So this is Kaiser Craft die cuts that I had, and I just placed them onto my heart, and then I'm just taking the black gelato and I'm applying it around the edges, and with my fingers I'm rubbing it just to give it a grungier look. So that's all I'm doing here to the butterfly and to the word love. And then I applied it with the gel multimedia right on top of the heart, and you'll notice it just dries almost instantly. It's really wonderful. And then I'm gonna take my this is called Black Lava. It's by Liquitex, and it's really, really fun. It's like a gel medium with some black grainy sand, I guess you could say. And this just adds a little bit of texture to my page. And so I'm just applying it with a pellet knife just to give it, and when it dries, it'll be all black. It won't have that, that white around it. And then I'm grabbing my black gelato, and I'm just going around the edges of the heart just to grungy up my page a little bit. It was just a little bit too soft. And then I'm just taking the rolled pieces of paper and applying a little bit of black gelato on top of that too, just so that everything starts to go. And then I'm just going around the edges of my page and applying a little bit more on there. And that is the end of